Welcome to the R.W. Colin Speak On It podcast. No matter what the situation is, let your voice be heard. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Speak On It podcast with your boy R.W. Coolins, coming to you live and direct from D.C., the DMV. That's D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. SpeakOnIt.com. That's the website. Go to the website, get all the information you need, all the information you want, and you can follow up on that. The podcast will be broadcasting from the studio, the Speak On It Show studio, excuse me, y'all. Today, September 25th, 2017, we're going to be talking about the NFL protests, Donald Trump, the NBA, and everything going on that we've been hearing in the news today. How's everybody doing out there? This is episode 1 of the podcast coming at you. So let's go and get in this. So yesterday, a lot of NFL games. It's a Sunday, normal. But on Friday, President Trump, he was doing a speech, and he called the football players, or any football players that decides to take a knee, he said they're son of a I can't even get myself to say it, SOBs. And he also said that they should be fired by the owners. Well, a lot of people took exception to that. So, yesterday, all the NFL, most of the NFL players took knees in solidarity, hooked arms and everything. There was a couple teams that did not come out of the tunnel. They stayed inside until the national anthem was over, so they would stay out of it. But there was a couple things that jumped out at me that I'm going to touch on. Everybody knows the story. Everybody knows what's going on. But the things that jumped out at me are this, because I didn't watch any games. I watched the pregame shows and different things like that, just see what was going on. Ray Lewis. Let's talk about Ray Lewis for a minute. Now, I remember not too long ago, Ray Lewis was on the news on one of the talk shows. I think he was on Shannon and Skip's Undisputed or something like that. And he was talking about Colin Kaepernick needed to make a decision on whether he was going to play football or be an activist. And then he talked about he shouldn't have took the knee at the time he took the knee, and so on and so on. Ray Lewis was basically talking about him in the aspect of he shouldn't have done what he did. He needed to concentrate on football or be an activist. Can't do both, is what he says. So yesterday I turned the news on. He's down on not one knee, but both knees with the Ravens over in England or wherever they were at. And I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm scratching my head because I'm saying this is the same man who had the criticism of Colin Kaepernick, who did what he did at the time, was take a knee last year. Ray Lewis, Steve Bisciotti were upset because Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend posted a picture on Instagram when they say they were about to sign him. They said they got upset because she posted a picture on Instagram of, Samuel L. Jackson's character and Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Django Unchained, the slave and the slave master. And she referred the picture and put it in the concept of Steve Bisciotti and Ray Lewis. And Ray Lewis came back later on and said that's why they did not sign Colin Kaepernick. I think Ray Lewis he gets confused sometimes because I think he forgets the fact that he was charged with murder at one time. Let's go back. Ray Lewis was charged with murder, stabbing somebody. And the community and everybody stood by him. And now he's acting like he's bigger than now. He's about to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I just seen that the other day that he's going to be probably going in. But I think he's forgotten all the things that he's gone through to get where he's at. I don't know where he got lost in the sauce, as they say, or whatever, but Ray needs to wake up. The other part that throws me is all the demonstration yesterday off of what Donald Trump said on Friday. All that demonstration and show of solidarity with each other and not being SOBs and so on and so forth for what they did yesterday. Where was all this solidarity and unity for Colin Kaepernick when he was taking a knee? I'll wait. I got time. I don't recall it. I don't recall seeing it. I don't know what's going on. But I will say this. Yesterday's demonstration by the players of solidarity, I applaud them for. But I'm also a little upset with them because they could have done the same thing in response to Colin Kaepernick last year. It shouldn't have took for Donald Trump to piss them off and call them SOBs for them to decide they were all going to do this in solidarity. Now, you may say, but R.W. Coolins, if they didn't agree with what Colin Kaepernick was doing, then why would they take a knee? Good point. But my point is this. The knee was started by Kaepernick, not overall, but at the time he did it. And you would have a knee here, a knee there. And now because the President Trump called them SOBs, all of them decided to take a knee or not come out before the national anthem because they say they don't get paid to be out there during the national anthem, which I get. I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, there has to be some kind of solidarity towards Colin Kaepernick as well. Now, a lot of people say, you know, he doesn't have a starting job in the NFL or he's not in the NFL because he opted out of his contract and San Francisco decided they weren't going to re-sign him. I'm good with that. But you still can't tell me that Colin Kaepernick should not have a job in the NFL. I haven't watched any games. I've heard different things. I've looked at stats. And he should be in the NFL. I'm sorry. That's the R.W. Coolins opinion. Take it or leave it. I'm just telling you what I know to be true. The other part, even though the players bonded together yesterday in solidarity to show support for each other against what President Trump said, the message is still lost on what the knee was taken for when Colin Kaepernick first did it. The inequalities, the injustice, the killing of young black men at the hands of officers and nobody being accountable, all those things still exist. Nothing's gone. The only difference is Colin Kaepernick doesn't have a job and he's not on the sidelines for people to talk about it. But yesterday, these guys took a knee. We're talking about it again, and the message is lost. Yesterday, the knee was in protest of what Donald Trump said. Nothing to do with Colin Kaepernick and why he took the knee initially. We need to get back focused on why Colin Kaepernick initially took the knee. What his stance was all about. We've gotten lost, y'all. We got to get back on track. We got to get back on track. Now, the NBA. Donald Trump pissed them off too. You know, I think Steph Curry said he was in debate whether he was going to go to the White House or anything. And then he said, no, I don't think I'm going to go. Golden State Warriors had a meeting about it, so on and so forth. Well, I guess Donald Trump heard about it. He told him, well, Steph Curry don't come. He's uninvited. But I guess the Golden State Warriors had already made the decision not to go, so it didn't really matter anyway. But then LeBron James came out in defense of Steph Curry and called President Trump a bum. He said, you bum. I don't agree with it. I mean, at the end of the day, the name calling, what difference is it going to make? It's not going to make a big difference. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the fact that this generation of NBA players are willing to take a stand against what's going on in the world and vocal about it, compared to when you look back, the Michael Jordans and the Charles Barkleys and all those guys who really didn't voice their opinions and didn't get involved in the politics as much. As Michael Jordan said, I mean, Republicans buy my Snickers just like Democrats. I'm cool with that. He's all about his dollar. I'm not going to hold that against him. But at the same time, to see these younger guys that are in the league now stand on their laurels and their morals and their principles about what they believe in when they know injustices are being done and standing and talking about it, I applaud them. We should all applaud them. I was looking at something today where this guy was on Facebook and he posted something and he mentioned that these ball players are spoiled brats. They make millions and millions of dollars. They need to stay out of politics. Hold on, player. It's not that they need to stay out of politics because they have a vote just like you do. Why? And I'm going to ask this question because I got in this conversation before about the Jason Whitlock comments that he made about LeBron James when his house got spray painted with the N-word. Why is it? Why? Well, let me say like I usually say. Why come when athletes decide to get involved and get their voices heard and say what they have to say about what's going on in the world, the first thing people want to go to is, you're millionaires. You don't understand. You don't get it. They haven't always been millionaires. These athletes, whether they're playing football, basketball, baseball, any of those things, all of them did not come from wealthy environments. They all came from environments where they dealt with the everyday struggles that we deal with. People need to get out of this habit of continually saying because they're millionaires that they shouldn't say anything. They should just do their jobs. Well, that's just like telling you or me that no matter what goes on in life, we should not voice our opinion because this is how much we make. If you're going to judge my opinion by how much my income is, that's ignorant. It shouldn't even come into the equation. But people feel the need to say this. Why? I'm not sure. It doesn't make sense, but they say it. You hear it, and it doesn't. I mean, let's just be real. The politicians make money. They make good money. Most of them are millionaires because of their investments, quote unquote, is more from the lobbyists. But the investments that they've made, most of those guys are rich. They're supposed to be looking out for the best interest of the country and the people. But how do you go in there and become a millionaire off the backs of the people that you're supposed to be writing these laws and different things about? But the first people we want to jump on are the athletes. Yes, athletes are athletic. Politicians are supposed to be for the people. Which one do you think I'm more concerned about saying what they need to say, not what they think you want to hear at the time when it's convenient for them? The politicians. Because remember this, an athlete get hurt tomorrow, he may not play for the rest of his life. A politician who we keep recycling into these offices continually tell you one thing and then vote a different way. Let these young athletes speak their mind. Let these young athletes say how they feel. Put their voices out there, because I think we respect them more when they're voicing their opinion about things going on than being silent. Because if they didn't say anything, then somebody would come back with the argument and say, oh, he don't feel like he's got to be involved because he making all that money. He don't relate to us. Come on, people. You can't have it both ways. Give them the benefit of the doubt. If they choose to speak their mind, they're speaking their mind because it's something that's near and dear to them. Most of them, let me get it right, most of them have children who whatever is going on today is going to affect tomorrow. Think about that the next time you want to criticize these athletes for having a voice. I also heard somebody today talking about the president and being in office and everything. And they talked about voting. And I'm a true believer that when you talk about voting, you have a choice. You have a choice to vote. You have a choice not to vote. I don't think people should hold it against you because you choose not to vote, because everyone throws it in there and says, well, your ancestors fought for the right for you to vote. Yeah, they did. But they fought for the right for me to make a choice of whether I wanted to vote or not. Same thing with anything else. Everything that our ancestors fought for our freedoms and what we want to be able to do freely in this country, we're given the freedom to make a choice of whether we want to or whether we don't want to. At one time, we didn't have a choice. Now we have a choice because of them. So when people get into this mindset of saying, well, you should do this or you should do that because our ancestors this and our ancestors that, you have to look at it in a different sense. Everything is not for everybody. But at the same time, you can't hold over our heads what our ancestors fought for, because they fought for the fact of having the right. And the right means you can or you can't. It's your choice. Everything is a choice. What you choose to do with your vote is your choice. However, comma. If you choose not to vote, then you shouldn't be complaining about what happened with the other folks' votes, of whether the person got elected that you thought you liked, who you didn't vote for, or the person that you wouldn't have voted for, that you didn't vote for, but got elected. Basically, if you choose not to vote, shut up and deal with it. And don't try to jump into somebody else's conversation to tell them what they should do when you didn't do what you should have done, even though you had a right to do either way. Again, I'm your boy R.W. Coolins. Ooh, that was loud. I'm your boy R.W. Coolins. This is the first podcast coming to you. And we're talking about the NFL. President Donald Trump. You know, this it's getting a little crazy out here, y'all. It's getting a little crazy. Things are tense between what's going on here at home and things going on in North Korea. It's time to reevaluate some things, y'all. I'm not saying reevaluate to the point that tomorrow's doomsday or nothing like that, but I'm just saying it's time to reevaluate the way you're doing business or how you're handling yourself or all the above. It's time to get yourself together and start paying attention to what's going on in this country and in the world. These hurricanes, all these weather things going on, and at the brink of war, all these different things. Pay attention. Don't get caught up in the okie doke that they want you to be looking at. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. I'm your boy R.W. Coolins. Speak on It podcast. Just wanted to come at you today and touch on some of the NFL things that I seen on the news and give you my opinion and where I stand, and hopefully I put it out there as clearly as I can. I'll be coming back with another podcast here shortly later this week. This is the first one. I'm getting a little tongue-tied in here, so just bear with me. It's been a while since I've been on, but you can go to the website SpeakOnIt.com, get all the information you need about the show. I'll be posting these on Facebook, YouTube, all over. We'll be posting these podcasts so you can go and listen to them at any time you want. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening to my podcast. It's the first one, episode 1 of the Speak On It podcast with your boy R.W. Coolins. As I always say before I sign off, love yourself, love one another, keep your head up, and most definitely keep your faith in God. I'll see you on the radio. I love y'all. Peace.